grip. You ever notice that? The crazier you get, right? I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying, right? If you're convicted, let the Spirit do his work. Sit in it for a minute, right? But it's true. And then the third thing, and the final thing we learned from this passage of Mary and Martha is that she had a temporal perspective, not an eternal one. I have found in my life that when I am more fixated on the eternal rather than the temporal, things seem to go a lot smoother in my life. I'm quicker to forgive. I'm quicker to love. I'm less to worry, etc. It's like this. This rope, right? And so this rope, it goes out this door somewhere, and I have no idea where it begins. It just goes out of Missouri and goes into Texas and keeps going to the west coast of California and then takes off to Fiji and Australia, and it just goes on and on and on forever. And so I have no idea where this rope begins. And then this rope continually goes out the other way, and it goes all the way out past Kentucky and then the west or the east coast of North and South Carolina, then over to Africa and China. And this rope just goes on forever and ever, and then it just keeps wrapping and around and around. And I have no idea where this rope starts, and I have no idea where this rope ends. And that rope just simply represents eternity. That's what the white part of this rope represents, eternity. And it just goes on forever, and it starts forever, and there's no beginning, and there's no end. It's called eternity. And then you see this little black piece of this rope. It's your life. Here's your life. This is it. And we get so fixated on this. We exhaust ourselves for this, and we lose sight of all of this. And I'm no mathematician, but I know this is far, far greater than losing my life to this. God, I need more Instagram likes. I need more Twitter followers. I need more Facebook stalking. I need whatever the case may be. And we sit here and we exhaust ourselves. And so one day we walk into the presence of Jesus and say, look at all these things I accomplished. I'm like a social media giant. And I watched all the reruns of Fixer Upper and Blacklist and Sports Center just looped. And I did all these awesome things. And Jesus, We live lives with such a temporal perspective. I pray that all of us, me included, that I would just have an eternal perspective, that I would be like Mary at the feet of Jesus, just wanting to hear what he wants to tell me. Just wanting to hear, but our cell phones have got us so distracted and we're missing it. And so when we wake up, it's like this, right? So many of us, the first thing we go reach for in the morning is boom, to-do list, emails. Oh, got to like this, got to do that. Whoa, squirrel, right? and before we even know it, like the day is gone from us. And so a great habit to do is maybe to take this and put it over the top of it, so that the first thing you reach for in the morning is his word. Right, and I'm guilty of this. If I wake up and this is the first thing I read, I miss it. My 2.5-year-old and my 4-month-old, they're up. And if I don't beat them up, I'm not going to have much time before I'm having to do kids and take care of kids and everything else. And if I'm not reaching for this first, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to live with a temporal perspective the rest of the day. That's why I love what the great theologian Jonathan Edwards from the UK said. He said this, Lord, stamp eternity on my eyeballs. I want to be so fixated on heavenly matters that I don't get caught up in worldly things that just don't matter. I don't want them to take my heart's affections away from you. I don't want to be distraught about things that are just pulling my heart away from you. And C.S. Lewis wrote a book called Screw Tape.